Dear Cosmo Babies, on this week's episode, we are talking about the Hairbrained Awards and taking a trip down memory lane. I'm your host, Annie MacArthur, and I have my co-host with me today, Russell Mays, and our special guest joining us is Douglas McCoy, a past winner of the Hairbrained Awards, and he has won Video of the Year as well, so that's really fun, and we are going to kind of chat about that. But also, before we get super far into this, I do want to point out that the Hairbrained Awards entries are still open and available until December 31st, so I do highly encourage everyone to create their videos, look at the categories, go to hairbrainedawards.com, check out all the rules and how to get your videos submitted before it's too late. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
Sweet. I really, really enjoyed when I was doing the videos and posting them on Hairbrained and stuff like that. And it was really a magical time at the beginning when you had people you didn't even know, and they would post something that was just really mind-blowing, amazing, and it made you want to up your game to do something better the next time. And I remember the very first video I saw of Douglas, where it was a takeoff of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
And I freaking loved that video. I loved it.
Yeah, that is definitely one of my favorite Douglas McCoy videos for sure.
Had the shakes, taking his pills, and he ran out of pills, and here comes the beast. I love that.
We were all so young then.
That's true. So what made you want to send in video for the first time for yourself, Douglas?
I think it was cool on Hairbrained because, social, it was there, but it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And so we were all filming stuff for Hairbrained. We were posting it straight. So the people that were watching it were fellow hairdressers. It wasn't going out to the general public.
Yeah.
And it was a very tight-knit community. And it was one of the only platforms at that time where you could post video. It wasn't just stills. Most of the other platforms were just photos, much like Instagram is now, but it was so cool to be able to post video and get recognition for it and get messages back going, oh, I love that. Oh, did you see that? How many people viewed it? And it was just off that channel. And so it was a very tight-knit group. And as you got that feedback, you wanted to do better. And so that first video, I don't even know what the first video I ever posted on Hairbrained was, because Gerard had got a hold of me. He's like, I've got this thing, you might want to check it out. And when I got on Hairbrained, I was like, oh, this is cool. Because it was so tight-knit. And it was hairdressers that I've never heard of before that were doing such incredible work. But then it was also all of my idols, my peers, they were all on there. It was like, oh, okay, I've found a home. So I was already shooting video, and I prefer video. I like video. I like the storytelling. And so you'd post one up and actually get feedback, almost immediate. And it was like, okay, I can't wait to do another one. But then somebody else would do one, and you're like, oh my God, that's incredible. Now I got to top that. But it was cool. And it was a group of us, and Russell was one of them that, we weren't hiring film companies like they do now. We were shooting this stuff off our phone or off a flip cam. And that's what made it fun. The one you're referring to, Russell, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde one, I happen to have friends that work for a film company. And when they're not filming, if they don't have a project to work on, they want to practice. So it was really easy for me to get a hold of them going, hey, I got this idea. They would end up filming and editing, which I liked. Those films did good, but I actually prefer the ones I would just shoot myself. It was
more real, more raw.
Hairbrained called it lo-fi. That spoke to me. So just to get that peer recognition was huge.
Yeah, back then it was the top 20% of the industry that was on there. And there were so many highly respected people on there you couldn't find anywhere else. And like you said, you would find something from somebody out in the middle of BFE, Nowheresville, and you see them post something, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I see where you're going with that. And then you would see young guys coming in from Evansville, Indiana, posting their stuff, and it had a rawness to it. And you thought, if they keep going with that, they're going to end up hitting something that's really hot. And you could see that growth happen. And it was really a hotbed of energy that was going on in the early beginning. And just being nominated for an award was like, oh my gosh, they had the first Hairbrained Video Award, and everybody that had posted a video on Hairbrained throughout the year was in consideration. And then they would go through and par it down to the top 100, and then they had 5 per each category, and the categories changed over the years. But just to be nominated one of the top 5 is, oh my gosh, I have arrived. I'm going to take this letter and frame it and put it on the wall. It's like instant credibility.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think the thing that I am enjoying, though, about watching the evolution of not just the Hairbrained Awards, but the evolution of kind of like social media in general, because the Hairbrained Awards was something that you did have to upload to the Hairbrained site. There were like, it lived there. And now today they're uploading to Instagram. So you're making the videos for Instagram, uploading to Instagram. That's how you enter, and that's how you submit your videos. And what I enjoy about that so much is watching the evolution of the creativity, watching the evolution of accessibility also, because not everybody had the skill and the know-how to put together these incredible videos that were being made. And now today with iPhones and Androids and like the way that it's so much more accessible, I feel like people are able, like a wider variety of people are able to enter. And with the expansion of the categories as well, it kind of gives people more of an opportunity to enter the awards and not feel like it's out of reach for them. And I think that that's really cool.
It's a different skill set, whereas a photograph, you can fake a lot of it. And someone that may be good at photographs for Instagram and things like that, and editing and getting the right makeup, the right hair, the right look, it doesn't necessarily transfer over to video, because sometimes someone who does a good picture, then you see it happen on video, and it's a different skill set, and it requires a different sort of thought process and thinking that goes into being able to make it. And like Douglas said, tell a story from beginning to end. It's not just a presentation of, oh, look at how great my hair is, which a picture can be. It's harder to tell a story in a picture, but with a video, you can really convey something. And that's what separates a really good one from one that's mediocre. And that just comes with skill of practicing and doing and practicing and doing and practicing and doing.
I think that's what made, and I think you both will agree on this, when you see somebody, and I was just having this conversation with a couple of members of my team, because I had them really focusing on sectioning. And I was like, look, if I've got a camera pointed at you, or you're going to do a video for a Hairbrained Award, or just even get on Hairbrained, I said, if your sections aren't perfect, if your tension is not right, if it doesn't look like you are in control and you know exactly where you are, where you're going, you're going to get ripped apart. And that's what was great about, especially the early days, because the ones that succeeded were the ones that had it together. They were educated, they were trained, they not in filmmaking, but in just being a hairdresser. And it really showcased that. And that's what I like to talk to, especially the young kids about, is have your stuff put, like, train, educate, practice. Because on camera, I can take a still of you and you'll look like a superstar. But if I'm filming you and something's off, everyone will see it. So you've got to be tight. And that's one thing I encourage everybody to do when they're working, is just film yourself working and watch it back. Because
you can't hide. There's no hiding.
Show everything. And that's what makes the video awards so great, because the people that are going to get nominated are going to be the ones that are tight. And you could be 18 years old and fresh out of beauty school. Hell, you could be in beauty school and win a Hairbrained Award if your stuff is put together and you do it with a thoughtfulness and a purpose. That's what made the video awards so great.
Yep.
What do you wish that you would have known, knowing what you know now after winning as many awards as you have with the Hairbrained Awards? What would you wish you would have known before entering?
Well, before he answers, you've nominated for like 8 or 9 awards, and you won what, 17, 18? How many did you win, Douglas? You got
I won 5, including Video of the Year the first year. So I will take that. I will put that in my pocket. That's fine. You can have that. That's fine.
Okay. So now going into what you would do differently in the future, what would you tell your 19-year-old self if you were going to make a Hairbrained video?
I think number one, I'd film more. I'd have the camera rolling 24/7 if it was in my power. Editing, I liked things way more when I was doing it myself. I would just tell myself to do it more so that you get the practice in. I was really good. I think when I was younger, I was really good at telling stories. And that's what a lot of and even today, it's like, even if it's just someone sitting in front of the camera, in front of a white wall, it's still, way it's edited is to tell a story. This person's getting a haircut. Let's tell the story. Who are they? What's this about? It's not I think that's where people lose it the most now, is they just film a haircut. And it's like, film reaction, film personality, film, like, put that stuff out there. But what it boils down to is film as often and as much as possible, and edit and practice, just like you do your craft. Mm-hmm. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. The first ones are going to be crap. Fine, let it be crap. I won Video of the Year by filming a haircut in a basement on a phone. So that won Video of the Year. So it's not out of anybody's wheelhouse to do this, but just get really good at it and get really good at telling stories, because that not only responds to hairdressers, which is what all of us, mainly myself, was that peer recognition. Mm-hmm. But when you get clients that see it now, when you post it on Instagram, when you post it on Facebook or whatever, TikTok, whatever media you're on, the clients want to see it, because there's still very few that are doing more than, hey, here's my section, here's this one piece. Mm-hmm. Very few people out there that are filming full looks and telling stories. So be a storyteller. It's just filmmaking.
The equipment is not a limitation anymore. Back in the day, you had to have a camera that cost you $1,000. You had to have the tape, and then the computer that could edit it all together, and the DV tape. And now your phone will shoot it and edit it and upload it all on your phone or your iPad or whatever. So the technology is not the limiting factor anymore, which is, I think, a blessing and a disguise. It's a blessing that it's opened the gates to everybody. It's a curse in that it's opened the gates to everybody. And
with the $5,000 that I won when I won Video of the Year that first year, it bought me a laptop and a lighting setup.
Yeah,
literally. Nice. I think the next time I won, it was like $500, and I put that towards a new camera. But most of the money that I've won off this went back to the models. Or if I had a Connor Allen, who's a photographer I used to work with a lot, he would film a lot of this stuff for me because he would film it the way I wanted it filmed. And he got a kickback from that money. So everybody got paid. So it was so cool when you did win. It was like getting them all together and literally be like, there you go. I actually got very little of that money. I just paid everybody else. But yeah, it is a blessing and a curse, and I do agree with that, because now you just have everybody, all their Aunt Tammy and whoever wants to pick up their phone and do a film and put it up, and it might get 100,000 views. Well done. But what does it mean? And it's got to mean something.
Yeah.
You've got to tell those stories. But with video's the best teacher. And even if you've ever done public speaking classes, they make you film yourself. And they're horrible to watch. It's absolutely horrendous.
It's mortifying. It's mortifying.
But the more you do it, the more you pay attention. You're like, oh, I gotta quit doing that. I gotta do that. Ooh, that was good. I need to up that. So, it's a wonderful video is a wonderful thing, and to be able to put it up and actually get recognized for it, and then win an award and money from your peers, because the judges are no joke.
Mm-hmm.
People they have judging the video awards on Hairbrained is they're everybody's mentor and idol, and I always look forward to. It's like, wow, they picked mine. That's awesome. Just makes it's a great ego boost.
Absolutely.
What categories are you going to be entering this year, Douglas?
All razor cutting. The categories I'm entering is just razor cutting. I've been out of it for so long. And I took, it wasn't a purposeful break, but I took a break. And now it's like, okay, how do I get back into this? And number one, not only how do I get back in, how do I relate to everybody else? Which was always back in the day, and Russell remember this, and so will you, Annie. There was a guy, Josh Flowers, Josh XO. And he would always ask himself, am I relevant? And I've kind of hit that point where it's like, okay, the stories that I want to tell, what are the stories I want to tell? And does it work with today? So I think just getting back into it, let's just stick with one category, the bit I'm good at, which is razor cutting. And then next year, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
the categories have changed over the years. And so it's kind of been fun to watch the evolution of the categories as well, because like you said, like there was a lo-fi category in the beginning, and that's not really there anymore, but the categories are a lot more open with cutting and coloring and
everybody's got
some of the different things. Yeah.
Everybody with the new categories, everyone's got a chance. It doesn't matter what you're into. There's a category for it.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Because I will not be entering the braiding category. Not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I am actually, that category specifically, I'm really excited to see what comes out of that category, because it's such a vast variety of possibilities of that. And so some of these categories, it's okay, there's going to be some really cool things, I think, that are going to be nominated this year. I'm really excited to see everything.
I think what is separating this year from a lot of the others, there's actually quite a few things. But the thing to remember is when Russell and I were entering, it was individual. These were us behind the chair hairdressers that were filming. This is what we did on our days off. This is what we did at night. I would film on a Sunday, edit on a Monday, and it would be up Tuesday morning. I even did trailers for some of my I don't know if you'd say how pompous that would. It would be like, hey, this is dropping tomorrow morning. Stay tuned, that sort of thing. But now you've got brands that are competing. And so the more individuals that enter, the better. Because it's not that it's unfair, because, hey, it's all fair. But it's like you got brands entering. You got some pretty big names that are entering this, and they're bringing full film crews in. So it's like, if you can tell your story the simplest way possible with the less possible, I think that actually sets you apart. It used to be called the lo-fi category, because it was people that were not using film crews or big lighting setups, or hell, one of the videos that I was nominated for, we shot on a $60,000 film camera. Thank God it didn't get nominated. For me, I was like, I am so cheating on this because it's so good. I preferred my phone. I preferred that. So the more people, and I know this is a plug just to get people to enter, but enter like anything. And the most low tech, the better. Put a sticky thing on your mirror with your phone on it, hit time lapse, and just enter it. You never know.
Yeah. It's more about the idea that you're trying to convey than it is about how good a hair cutter you are, how good a colorist you are. It's not about how talented you are as a hairdresser. That helps, but it's about the idea and the creativity of the idea and how you can convey that idea that is much more important than your technique or the cameras that you're using or anything like that. And as you start doing it and get better, then you can up your game and up your game and up your game. The last video that I was nominated for, I had green screens going on. I had a little Angel Russell and a little Devil Russell telling me different things from different sides. And it was a
fantastic.
lot of editing.
It was so
But
good.
it was story. It was, and as hairdressers, we understand that more than anybody.
Yeah.
Of course, filmmakers know how to do it. But
let me tell you, before I lose the thought, the last video that I had actually planned out, it was, I had a guy in LA who was a director of photography, a good friend of mine. So he was going to shoot it for me. And the idea I had was from Reservoir Dogs. Remember when Mr. White was going to torture that cop and had him tied up to a chair and then cut his ear off with a razor?
Yeah.
I was going to play Mr. White, and I was going to have a client come in. I was going to have him tied to the chair. But I was going to do the whole Joker to the thing and the dance, and I was going to jump in his lap and freaking cut his hair with the tape on his mouth and everything.
Please still make this. Please.
And then as I stood up and walked away from it, my assistant would come over and take, the cape off of him and dust him off and say, okay, same time in 2 weeks, we got another appointment for you, as he scheduled, and walked out. So that's what I was going to do.
I love this. Please make that.
I was looking for a warehouse to shoot it in and everything. So that was the story I wanted to do, was a remake of Reservoir Dogs cutting his ear off.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So, okay, a question I have for both of you is, obviously, like, our audience listening right now is mostly students, branding professionals. What is the importance of entering competitions like the Hairbrained Awards? Like, why should they be encouraged to do so?
I think we lost Douglas there. We'll get him back on here. Anyway, so I'll just go ahead and answer. So something that Douglas was mentioning earlier is when you film yourself, or when you're going to put yourself out there, it forces you to examine yourself from a third party perspective. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is to watch yourself and see what you're doing wrong, but it forces you to get better. So regardless of if you're nominated or win or anything, just the fact of you going through the motion and doing the video and uploading it without any expectation at all will make you better for your next video, and will make you better for your next video and your next one. And it will tighten your technique up. The best way to learn how to do anything really, really well is to teach it. And doing a video of you in the process of doing a haircut is a form of you teaching it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more.
Just the fact of you going and doing it is the hardest thing that you'll do. Because it's hard to put yourself out there where your peers can judge you, but that's really where you need to be, is out of your own comfort zone and doing something that you're excited about and putting it out, and then looking at it later and saying, okay, how can I improve upon that? And that's the way that the industry is you start with a level of skill at a 1, and then you try, and then you'll judge your work, and then you'll become a 1.5, and then maybe a 2, and then you keep working up and keep working up. So it's not only for reputation's sake, it's not only for you to brag about how great you are, it's the process of making you better. And when you become better across the board. Not just technically, but in presentation wise, which will translate to how you build clientele better and all of that. I was nominated for 5 awards, and each time that I got nominated, I aspired to do better. Each video that I put up, I aspired to do better. Welcome back, Douglas. So that's all right. Each time that I put something out, I wanted to do better for the next one. So it made me tighten up my technique. I would encourage anyone that has even the slightest bit of interest, think of an idea, shoot the idea and put it up, and don't think about it. Have zero expectations. Just put it up and forget about it.
Yeah.
And keep doing it. Repeat, rinse and repeat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Douglas, why would somebody in school or as a new professional want to enter a Hairbrained Video Award submission?
That's a great question. It builds skill set. It forces the evolution of your skill.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you look at your work. It gives you peer recognition. It puts you above and beyond the people you're currently working with because it opens your work up to a broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point, is that it puts you ahead of people that you're working with, because there's a lot of people that are just going through the motions and have never done anything new, and they have done the same thing over and over and over for 20 years. Robert Cromans would always say, yeah, I know someone that has 20 years of experience, but they really only have 1 year of experience 20 times because they've never done anything more than that first year. So that's a very, very good point, is it forces you ahead of everyone you're working with because they're not doing it.
It puts you in a different league. And I don't know if it's just not taught much anymore, but the whole point is being a hairdresser is, we take care of our clients. And yes, we do great shampoo and lovely blow dry. Well done. There's so much more to it. And anything you can do that not only puts you ahead and opens you up to a broader audience, that's what the craft is. And video, as you were saying earlier, Russell, you can take a photo. Oh, great. That's a beautiful photo. But what it take to get there? That's what I want to see. And the really good hairdressers that are out there, that 10%, that's what they want to see. This is going to open doors if they see your work and see how willing you are to push yourself, which video really puts out there unlike any other medium. Next thing you know, you want to go work Fashion Week, or you want to go work editorial, or you want to go teach, or you want to work for a brand, or you want to travel. Here you go. It doesn't happen without it. You're going to have a camera filming your work. Mm-hmm. So why not do it now? Straight from beauty school. Set up a little camera on a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
Do your work. Hell, Instagram will edit it for you. Mm-hmm. It's not great, but it's pretty easy to get a simple edit out there and just get your work out there.
Mm-hmm. One thing I would like to add is that a lot of times a newer stylist, someone that's been in the industry for less than 5 years, a lot of times they're going to be intimidated to put their work out there because they're afraid that they're going to be judged by the likes of me or you, someone that's been in the business for 20 or 30 years and has a high level of skill. But that's not what happens. Ultimately, we're all on the same path. Where I'm at now at 35 years in the business is different than someone who's only been in it for 20 years, who's only been in it for 5 years. So I don't look back on someone that's only been doing it for 15 years and say, oh, you suck. I look back and say, wow, shit, I wish I was there when I was in 15 years. Mm-hmm. I look at what they're doing great. I don't sit there and kick someone's tires and judge them. And anyone that does is doing it out of sheer jealousy or intimidation, and it's their own insecurity coming up and kicking someone else down. But the true talents and skill and mentors in the industry, they will always uplift you and build you up and never tear you down. No matter how bad your work is, how bad you think it is, we're all on the same journey, and you got to start somewhere. Just put it out.
As soon as you put it out, you're automatically better than you were the day before you put it out.
100%.
Because you had to watch. You had to sit. You know how many times I've been editing a video going, oh my God, I suck. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you see that? Oh my God. Oh, what am I doing? Yes. So many times the next day I was better because I did that.
The first DVD that I put out, I had 6 haircuts that I had done, and it was all of the classic fundamentals. And I shot them all, and I went back and edited them, and I was so embarrassed of them. And I hated every one of them. A couple of months later, I reshot them all again. And then after that time, I thought, you know what? These are better, but I know I can do better. So I hired my camera guy who had the same camera I had. We had 2 camera views set up so I could see everything that was going on. We reshot them again. I edited them. It took me a year to edit them because I had little sectioning diagrams that would come up with each section that I was taking. So not only could you see it in real time, me doing it, but I had a diagram and I had to hand draw every one of those fucking diagrams. Hello, kitties. Douglas is holding up his kitty. But by the time I got finished, I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. And I just put it out and I'm like, whatever. And someone bought it and said that it was great. And next thing, there was enough grassroots motivation of people saying, oh, wow, this thing was really great. And I think, shit, maybe it wasn't so bad after all. Put it out. Just do it and put it out.
Yeah.
You're never going to be happy.
Hairbrained is the only, as far as I know, true video awards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is dedicated just to this medium.
Yep.
There are other ones out there, Instagram, but put on by different companies, but it's like they want 30 seconds. They want, like, I think this year that I think it's up to 10 minutes. It can be anywhere between 30 seconds and
it's a minimum of 15 seconds. So that's the minimum. And then anywhere up to I know that it's an Instagram based competition. So Instagram allows reels to be about 90 seconds. So anywhere between 15 to 90 seconds. There's 12 categories, one of which is nomination only, but one of them is a meme category, which can actually just be a still image as well, or it could be a reel of some sort. So it's kind of a nice variety of categories that are available.
We all know I love the meme. You make a great meme. Win some money off of making a meme. Are you kidding me? Like, this is my first year entering in a long time. Russell, are you entering anything?
No. I need to take my own advice. I need to take my own advice and just put something up and put it out there.
Absolutely.
The thing is, it's like 15 seconds. Do a bang trim. Mm-hmm. God, you could win a damn award from doing a bang trim.
Just make it great and tell a story.
Do it. And
I got an idea. I'm going to do a Julia Child cooking video where she cuts her finger on Saturday Night Live and it squirts blood everywhere. I'm going to do a bang trim with the razor and end up with 4 fingers and blood squirting everywhere.
Keep losing fingers.
I know. I'm like, Russell's cutting off ears, cutting off fingers.
I got nubs left.
That's all right. I will put this out there right now. I've actually did a casting call last week that I'm looking for somebody to do a bang trim on. But I've got a story behind it. And I'm going to enlist one of my friends that works for one of the film companies to film it. I'm still going to edit it. But I need somebody else because I'm in it. Obviously, I need somebody else behind the camera. But one of the videos that I'm entering is going to be a bang trim video. That's the blessing of the video awards, is that it doesn't matter what it is. But the thing is, we've talked a lot about filming and entering. It's the party.
This is New York.
Yeah. Let's talk about the awards, the actual event.
This is a legit awards night. This is, if you've watched the Grammys, if you've watched the Oscars or whatever, this is a party, and everyone's there to celebrate everybody.
Yeah. Also, something that I want to add in there is that it's not just a party. Like, yes, this is a party, but this is the room to be in.
It's the networking
even if
central.
You are not. Absolutely. This is the room. If you want to network and you want to mingle and touch shoulders with the best of the best, like, this is the room to be in. Yeah. So even if you are listening to this podcast right now and you're like, I don't think I really want to enter, go to this event. It's in New York, March 3rd, 2024. Like, everybody will be there. If you want to go and network and meet some of the best in this industry, including the 3 of us right now on this podcast, like, that's the room to go be in.
It's a wonderful, like, I remember just being there that first year and like looking around going, literally saying to it, how did I get here? Like, I could literally name names of everybody. And then what was super weird is to have people you looked up to
know your name.
Walk up to you going, Tracy Stokatis, I will never forget her walking up to me going, I want to do what you do. And my jaw hitting the floor going, you're the art director for Sassoon and Sen US in North America. What? I'm Joe Blow from some town that no one's ever heard of that still works behind the chair. Like, it was mind blowing. But then after talking to her, and it was like her explaining, I was like, that makes complete sense. And being able to meet these people and then hell, have them give you an award, bring you up on stage, shout your name. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So yeah, the award ceremony is as much of a career builder as anywhere else you're going to go. The hair show circuit, not as much anymore. It was at one time. Right now, Hairbrained Video Awards, or Hairbrained Awards as they're calling them now, like that right there will introduce you to the movers and the shakers. And if you think you can't afford it, I'm in wherever you're at and I can't fly to New York. Yes, you can. You can do it really cheap on a red eye. And you can literally stay for 24 hours and fly back, do another red eye the next night, because I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it too.
You can do it. You can do it.
I would discourage people from taking the Greyhound. Don't take the bus.
No, don't take the bus.
Fly in or take the train, but don't take the Greyhound. Don't ask how I know.
If you can't afford a hotel, you don't need one. You go, you show up for the bash. This was amazing. You take an Uber back to JFK and you're gone.
Yeah. If anyone listening does want to know about Russell's Greyhound adventure to New York City, please go in the very beginning of Dear Cosmo Babies podcast. There is a whole episode where we are just laughing about that, and you can hear all about that adventure.
These are adventures that make the best stories, the best life moments. And when anybody ever says, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm like, yes, you can. You can if you really want to. You can do it on the mass cheap. We've all blown into New York, went to an event, turned right around, went back to the airport and flew home. You can do it. So don't let anything hold you back, especially from an event like this. It's extremely worth it on a personal, life-changing, and career moment.
One of the things that makes the beauty business, I think, such a stellar business is that the only person that's limiting you from doing anything that you want is you. As long as you're willing to take the steps and put one foot in front of the other, and they're baby steps, sometimes they're micro steps, but if you're willing to keep diligently taking baby steps towards what you want, no one is going to stop you. Everyone is going to encourage you and celebrate your successes along with you. And there's Douglas's other little kitty.
Sorry.
Does that kitty have a bow tie?
Yes, they want. They want to make an appearance, and she's going to come back.
There you go.
But I love that you guys are doing this, and you guys know how I feel about Scissor and Moss. This is so valuable, but especially sharing something that's so near and dear to our hearts as far as Hairbrained Awards go is huge, and just getting the word out that this literally, this helped my career more entering these competitions than anything else ever did. I got to meet the best people. I got to make the best contacts. There's people in my phone that have no business being in my phone that I can call up. A couple of them I've actually had to call recently. And it all that happened because of the video awards. So putting the word out there, enter. And if you don't enter, fine, just go. Buy your ticket, buy your flight, whatever. If you need hotel recommendations, trust me, all of us have the most expensive hotel recommendations and the cheapest hotel reservations. There's people out there that'll hook you up because this is the best community. I've met lifelong friends because of this. And I just appreciate you two wanting to chat about it.
Yeah.
The industry's changed. It used to be where there were gatekeepers. The magazines were gatekeepers. The product companies were gatekeepers. When you would just go and beg and hope someone to give you a chance. When you'd have to start off shampoo and hair at a hair show for 2 or 3 or 4 years and hope to get a chance. But now there's no gatekeeper. You want to do something, go do it. Post it online. No one is stopping you. And Hairbrained is the platform with the lowest level of gatekeeping. If it's great, they'll promote it.
Well, I super appreciate this. I'm so glad that we took the time. Anyone who is listening that is interested in entering the Hairbrained Awards, I highly encourage you to go to the hairbrainedawards.com or go check out Hairbrained Official on Instagram. And they have all the rules and entry, the how to enter and all of that pinned at the top of their profile currently. Definitely go check that out. But like they just said, if you are not wanting to enter this, we do highly encourage you to attend the event. It is the event of the year. It is something to be in the room with these incredible, highly prestigious people in our industry. And it's just going to be really incredible. And so, Douglas, thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us about the journey and everything else. This has been so much fun. And the other last thing that I just want to leave all of our listeners with is, if you are interested in looking at some of these original videos from the very original back in the day Hairbrained Awards, please go find them on YouTube. Douglas's YouTube is, I believe, UK Habit. And if you want to search for those, highly recommend going and watching those videos. They are a riot, but they are also like incredibly inspiring and very creative, and definitely were something that inspired me in the very beginning of my career as well. When I saw and I was like, I want to do this. So
they're mini feature films. And
they're awesome. And same with Russell. Russell has some of the most incredible videos as well. So go look for those, go search for them, go on YouTube, check them out. Also check out our YouTube page at The Hair Nerds. And so you can find all of the podcast episodes there, but you can also stream the podcast on everywhere that podcasts stream. Listen to Dear Cosmo Babies, leave us a review, leave us a comment, slide into our DMs. We are always here and listening. And thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
We'll catch you all next week.